The process of jailbreaking a PlayStation Vita has become so easy, you don't even need a computer anymore. Now, it's been a while since I modded a PlayStation Vita, and I just got my hands on this beautiful 2000 model that I picked up for an absolute steal. So this method of jailbreaking will work on any model PlayStation Vita. It'll work on the OG Fat model, any Vita Slim, and even the PlayStation TV. However, if you're doing this on the OG model Vita, you are going to need a memory stick. It doesn't really matter what size you get, but the OG model doesn't have any internal storage. So you need at least a little bit of memory just to get the few things installed. But if you're on a Vita 2000, this will not be required. Once the Vita is jailbroken, you can ditch that memory stick and install one of these. This is the SD2VITA adapter, and it allows you to use the console's cartridge slot along with a micro SD card to really expand this thing's memory. The second half of this video is going to be how to install everything you need to get this thing running, so to be sure to watch it all the way through if this is something you're interested in doing. So first things first, let's make sure that your PlayStation Vita is updated to the latest firmware. At the time of this video, the latest firmware is 3.74, and if you're running a lower firmware, just go ahead and run a system update, and it should take you directly to 3.74. Another thing is make sure that you are signed into your PlayStation Network account. If you don't have one, create one and come right back. Now that your Vita is running the latest firmware and you're signed into your PlayStation account, go ahead and open up the system's web browser. Once the web browser is open, you're going to want to type in this address. The address is jailbreak.psp2.dev. Once you hit enter, it's going to take you to the Hello page. Go ahead and click in the center, Unlock My Vita. It's going to redirect you to another page. Go ahead and click Unlock in the bottom right hand corner. After you do that, it's going to take you to this black screen with the Hello Bootstrap menu. You're going to scroll down to Install Henkaku, and you're going to tap X on your Vita. Once that's done, you're going to scroll down again to Install Vita Deploy and hit X on your Vita one more time. Once both of those are installed, you can go ahead and exit out of the Bootstrap menu. Once you're back at the home menu, go into your settings. At the very top, you'll now see Henkaku settings. Go ahead and click into there and check the box for Enable Unsafe Homebrew. Go ahead and close out settings and go into Vita Deploy. Once inside Vita Deploy, scroll down to Install a different OS and click that. Then at the very top, you're going to see Quick 3.65 install and go ahead and click on that. Now Vita Deploy is going to download the 3.65 firmware. This process can take a bit of a while, so just sit back, relax, and let it do its thing. Ignore the fingerprints and cat hair. I promise I'll wipe it off once we get this 3.65 firmware installed. Once it's done being downloaded, this menu is going to pop up basically asking you if you're sure you want to downgrade from your current firmware. Go ahead and tap X to select yes. After that, this warning is going to pop up basically telling you that if something goes wrong, it's pretty much on you. Give it 20 seconds and it's going to give you one more opportunity to back out if you want. Go ahead and tap X one more time and it's going to take you into the standard system update menu. Once again, this process can take a while, so just sit back, relax, let it do its thing. Once that's done, the Vita is going to reboot itself. Once fully rebooted, go back into settings and go into your system information. You'll now see that you're running a 3.65 custom firmware. Congratulations, you've successfully jailbroken your PlayStation Vita. Next, let's install what I consider to be some must-have apps for any modded PlayStation Vita. Exit out of settings and go back into Vita Deploy. Once in Vita Deploy, go ahead and click the app downloader and select Vita Shell, which is the primary file manager that you'll be doing most of your modding going forward. Click Vita DB Downloader, which is basically a homebrew browser, giving you access to stuff like emulators, homebrew, and a ton of utilities. Scroll down and click Adrenaline. Adrenaline pretty much unlocks the Vita's PSP potential and basically turns this thing into a dual boot handheld, allowing you to switch back and forth between Vita and PSP mode. Click on PKGJ, which is the app I'm sure most of you guys will be interested in. This is basically the free shop for the PS Vita and has damn near the entire Vita library, PSP, and even PS1 games. Scroll down a little more and click on Custom Themes Manager. This will have a wide assortment of custom themes and backgrounds that you can apply, so you can really make this menu and interface your own. Scroll back to the top and click Download the selected apps. It's going to take you to this black screen and it's going to download and unpack each individual app. It shouldn't take too long, but once again, just let it do its thing. Now, I'll be doing a separate video where I go a little bit more into detail regarding these apps, what they can do, and why I feel they're so useful. I'll put a link to that video in the description if you want to check it out. Once you get the message saying that all apps have been downloaded, you can go ahead and exit out. Once you're back at the main menu, you'll see all the new applications that we just installed. If you don't have any intention on using one of these SD2VITA adapters, the process pretty much ends for you right here. You can exit out of this video and start enjoying your fully modded PlayStation Vita. The rest of you guys stick around because up next we're going to install everything we need to get one of these adapters working and really beef up this thing's memory capacity. I'm going to be using 128 gigabytes on this one. I've used 256 in the past, and I've heard you can go as high as 512 without encountering any issues, so it's really your preference. This process is super easy, but there are a lot of steps. So follow exactly what I do and we'll get this thing working in no time. Pop the adapter into your Vita and scroll back down to Vita Deploy. Once in Vita Deploy, scroll down to Miscellaneous. Then click Format a Storage Device. Just go ahead and click Format Target Storage and you'll get a message once it's complete. Go ahead and click OK and press the back button twice to go to the first Vita Deploy menu. At the very bottom, you'll see Reboot. Go ahead, press that, and reboot your PlayStation Vita. Once it's fully rebooted, go into the Settings menu. While in Settings, scroll down to Devices and tap Storage Devices on top. You'll see the box where it says Use YAMT, and go ahead and check that. Back out twice, and go back into Henkaku settings. Scroll down to Reboot Device and reboot your PS Vita one more time. Once it's fully rebooted, we're going to go into Vita Deploy. At the very top, go ahead and click File Manager. Once that opens up, you'll see a bunch of folders. We're going to scroll down to the folder named UXO. Tap X to go inside the folder and press down once. Once any folder other than the one at the very top is highlighted, go ahead and press triangle and select Mark All. Scroll down and highlight the folder name SCLO Trash and tap square to unselect it. Once it's unselected, press triangle one more time and copy all of the files. You should get a notification letting you know that the files have been copied. Tap circle to go back and go into the folder named UMAO. Once inside, press down once, hit triangle, and then go ahead and paste all the files here. What this is doing is transferring over the files from your memory stick over to the SD2VITA. Once that's done, hit the home button and close out Vita Deploy. We're almost there, guys. Go back into your settings menu. Go back to Devices, Storage Devices, and you want to set UXO to SD2VITA. And you want to set UMAO to memory card. Tap back twice and go back into Henkaku settings. Scroll down and let's reboot device one final time. Once fully rebooted, go back into settings, go into system information, and as you can see, we now have 117 gigabytes free. to be used for games, homebrew, and emulation. And that's it. You have a fully modded PlayStation Vita with a fully working SD2VITA adapter. Now go out there and start enjoying the hell out of this criminally underrated handheld. Once again, if you want more information regarding the apps we downloaded earlier, I'll put a link to that video in the description where I go more into detail about them. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.